Hello, everybody. My name is Sibi Thirumalai, and I'm going to just dive right in. Today, I'm going to talk about Michelangelo. Not the Renaissance painter, not the Ninja Turtle, but it is the name of Uber's machine learning system. So, before I talk about how Michelangelo is implemented, how it's improved usability, how it provides a lot of solutions for issues that customers have been experiencing. Anybody that has used Uber or Uber Eats, any of the Uber services, if you guys have ever been wondering why it's so easy to order food or why you can book a ride at the click of a button and it tells you how long you have to wait and how far it is, and basically every other associated detail with that, it's because of Michelangelo. Michelangelo is Uber's implemented machine learning system that they have been using for approximately 2 years, since the beginning of 2019. And it was originally created to provide a solution for Uber's early development issues, because in the beginning, Uber was growing so quickly that they had trouble scaling, and at certain points there were so many users online and there were just so many people using the app at one time that both riders and both drivers, even this was well before even Uber Eats was an additional feature, they were experiencing slow responses and they were not exactly getting the efficient service they were looking for. And there were a lot of complaints early on in Uber's development that prompted them to go ahead and create Michelangelo. And Michelangelo has been a major improvement. It's almost like a personalized assistant within Uber. It's obviously a machine learning system, so it uses a lot of algorithms to analyze the customer's behavior, not only the customer's behavior, but the driver's behavior, and it takes into consideration a lot of things. So this is just a little visual of what the customer screen looks like. Anybody that's used the app obviously knows what it looks like. Anybody that's booked a ride or ordered food knows what the front page looks like. But as you can see, it tells you how far away the driver is. It has the map, so it shows you the icon of it. Not only tells you the distance, but it also shows you the icon based on the map of where you are in respect to the driver. It tells you how long, if you're ordering food, it tells you how long the food is being how long the food takes to be prepared, how far away it is, how far the restaurant away it is, when the driver is going to pick up the order, when the driver is going to drop off the order. There's a lot of features that come along with it, and I think that's what's made the usability so much easier over the years, and there's less and less complaints because of this machine learning system. And this is just a visual of the driver's side. So obviously most of us are probably the customer, so we're not, obviously, unless you are a Uber driver yourself, you will probably know a little bit more about this, but the driver pretty much receives the same information the customer receives about the driver. Is just vice versa. It's just flipped. So the driver does have the option of going online and offline, and during that time they can choose whether they want to do rides or whether they don't. And when they go online, the algorithm does an amazing job of matching them with the highest paid rides and areas, hot zones where they can make the most money, where it has the most activity going on, and it just provides benefits on both sides in a lot of different ways. And as you can see, it has similar information like distance and the rating and what the name of the rider is and what the name of the driver is. It's a very mutual understanding between both sides, and it's very informative on both sides. So nobody is left out of the circle or out of the mix. Everyone understands what's going on. These are the 3 governing rules. I don't want to go too much into detail in this because we've already kind of been over this in class, and it's kind of just the rule book or the guidelines to the managing the ethics that come along with any kind of business that implements AI, because AI is obviously not self-thinking. It is a man-made object that is supposed to simulate and supposed to mimic human behavior, but unfortunately it is obviously not a human mind. So there's a lot of issues that come with that, and those were the issues that I mentioned that Uber had early on, before they actually implemented this system, because there was not a middleman, there was not an outlet for customers and drivers to express concerns, for them to their only option was to call someone directly, through the call center or the customer support, and that was not always the most effective. So I honestly think that Michelangelo has done a terrific job of plugging all the holes and leaks that Uber was experiencing early on, because it simplifies everything and it gives everyone a more comprehensive understanding of what's going on, rather than being left in the dark about, oh, I wonder when this is going to happen, or how long is this going to take. It provides a lot of information. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So how is the AI kept in check? I think the AI is effective in Uber because it does not have a lot of power. It doesn't control any functions. It doesn't control any processes. It just mitigates and it just makes processes quicker and more efficient. So it doesn't exactly have power over anybody's decision. It does not have power over the driver decision or the rider decision. It makes it so that the processes are just quicker and more efficient. It just makes every task much easier to achieve, and just makes everything quicker, makes everything goes more smoother. So I think because of that, the AI kind of keeps itself in check. On top of that, personal information is not shown on either side. So the driver can only view the rating, the name of the customer, or the name of the rider, their reviews, what kind of ride they booked, and the rider can only see the driver rating, the driver name, how many trips they've completed, their reviews. So it is very minimal information that makes the trip more easier and more comprehensive to understand, but at the same time, it's not enough information for anybody to be exposed, for anybody to get scammed, for anybody to get duped in any kind of way. It's a very safe environment for people, for both the rider and the driver, to know what's going on both sides. And another feature that I actually forgot to mention was the chatbot. So the chatbot is something that's available in both the Uber Ride and the Uber Eats app. It basically allows you to communicate with the chatbot representative, Michelangelo's representative, if you will, for simpler understanding. And this representative is kind of a universal representative for all customers. So rather than a customer going on the phone and waiting for 30 to 45 minutes for someone to pick up, or depending on how long it is, anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes, rather than them waiting on the phone for a long time, they go to the chatbot, and the chatbot, based on whatever concern you have, it personalizes messages for you. So the algorithm will show you a bunch of options on what your issue or what your concern is. So if you're saying, oh, the ride is taking too long, or my food hasn't arrived yet, it will basically show a pop-up of all those options, so you do not have to type it yourself. And on top of that, it also allows you to communication between the rider and the driver. So not only can it be used for the individual to express concerns through the app about any wrongdoings or anything the feature doesn't exactly cover, it also allows communication in between riders and drivers. So if a driver is on his way to pick someone up, obviously texting and driving is not safe. So rather than them looking down and typing out a whole message, they can simply go on the one-click chatbot and the chatbot will just provide them with a list of messages that they can send based on the situation. So if a rider is curious how far the driver is, the driver can simply go on the algorithm, and the algorithm will already have an option that says 5 minutes based on the map, based on how far you actually are. So that makes things a lot quicker and a lot more efficient. And the best thing about Uber that I like that protects everyone, not like on top of all the details that I mentioned, it does not mention a lot of personal information. There's a new outlet, the chatbot, that allows customers and riders to get an immediate response and an immediate solution to whatever problem they're facing. On top of that, no decision is binding. Meaning, if a driver books a ride, or if a rider books a driver, or orders food, if for some reason they want to change it or cancel it because they're not comfortable for whatever reason, they can simply go on the app and just hit the cancel button and get the refund button, and you'll get your money back, and you'll cancel the trip and you can wait for another one. The chat on top of that, it allows the driver to send proof to the customer. So if the customer doesn't receive their food in a timely manner, or if they're wondering where their food is, the app requires the driver to take a picture of the food in front of the door, in front of the location, in front of the address, so that way the customer actually knows that their food is there on a timely manner. And as far as the future for this, I think since it has only been around for about a year and a half, it's only going to continue to improve, because there's obviously going to be new concerns and new issues that continue to arise. And with that being said, because it is a machine learning system, I think Uber has designed it in a very effective way where it will be able to learn about these problems and issues, and it will be able to, the chatbot on top, not just the chatbot, but Michelangelo as a whole, will be able to provide a lot of solutions, and it'll make processes and it'll make tasks super easy and super safe for everyone to use. So I think Uber will only continue to become safer with the precautions and the measures it takes based on their machine learning system, and it will just continue to improve and just grow. And any holes and leaks, any loopholes in the system will just continue to be plugged.